Subunit 2, Lesson 2. We are continuing with the Odyssey, and we are venturing into the Cyclops. As you wrapped up that last section in 2.1, you started to highlight some traits, some behaviors, some actions, some descriptions about the owner of that cave. We're going to check and see if those predictions that you made come true. Good readers make predictions. Let's see if your inferences in the form of predictions might turn into something. So, you're going to read this 5-minute chunk from Book 9, The Cyclops, and you're going to continue your highlights. You should now certainly be able to have very clear red highlights of the problem in this book. That is Book 9. What is the main character's main problem? Make sure that you are answering the questions on the right. And think about how these two characters are interacting with each other, Odysseus and the Cyclops. They are kind of going back and forth about this custom, and you're going to need to fill in the blanks. To paraphrase this disagreement or this discussion that they are having. Card 2. Make sure you're finding your evidence about how Cyclops feels about the gods. The Cyclops makes it clear that he does not want visitors in his cave. Which of the following does he not do? Review the predictions that you made from last lesson, and complete this sentence. Based on the reading in the lessons, my prediction about the cave's owner and the response to Odysseus and his men was correct, incorrect, partially correct. And you should have right here this filled out. So 2.1, make sure you go to activity 5, you have that filled out. What is your prediction? And go ahead and wrap up card 5. You're going to highlight in blue details what Odysseus uses to help foreshadow the way the Cyclops will act. We're focusing on foreshadowing. Predictions, as we made from the last lesson to this one, are like foreshadowing. So it's using evidence that stands out to us to make an inference about what might happen in the future. So Odysseus notices some things. What are those things that he sees that helps him understand how the Cyclops will act? And and highlight those. It says do it in blue. Highlight those in yellow. I know it says blue, but we already did stuff about the Cyclops in blue. Why might Odysseus want to give King Alcinous these clues about the Cyclops at the beginning of his story? Think about Odysseus's motivation, what he's trying to do, where he wants to go. Why would he want to do those things for the king? Activity 3. We're going to do a writing activity. So think about whether or not you thought Odysseus suspected he may meet a cruel monster when he wondered about the type of people who inhabited the island. So what clues did he see when he thought about who might live on the island? Think about whether or not you worried that the creature might not be hospitable to Odysseus when they brought the food and drink. Think about whether you wondered whether someone or not would entertain guests if they lived alone so far away from any other creature. So again, more clues. And think about whether or not you knew something bad might happen. Did you sense or foreshadow that something bad might happen when Odysseus admitted that he should have taken that man's advice and sailed away? So you've got 10 minutes to write 125 words or more in entirely complete sentences. And you're going to respond to the following. Pick one detail you highlighted and describe how Odysseus uses it to foreshadow what comes later in the story. Those are your yellow highlights that you just did. Explain how this detail fits into the plot. So the plot meaning what happened first, second, third, fourth, fifth, the process, the structure of all those events as Odysseus is solving this problem in book 9. So how does that one yellow highlight fit into the story? And how does it help Odysseus hint at or think about or foreshadow the type of character the Cyclops is, and then how he's going to react to finding strangers in his cave? So, to sum all that up, you are picking one yellow detail that you highlighted about Odysseus and the details he noticed to then explain in detail what kind of things did that detail tell Odysseus, and what kind of things did those details tell Odysseus about the Cyclops, about how the Cyclops might react to strangers living in his cave. Excuse me. Hop on over to your exit ticket, and you're going to answer what is foreshadowing, and how does foreshadowing make Cyclops more interesting or engaging? So this is a little bit of your opinion. Why would an author want to use foreshadowing to help develop the story?